Hi guys, this is Laura with Duarte Valley Homestead. Um, it's not really a homesteading update per se because I've been down with back issues. I'm not allowed to lift more than 15 pounds. I'm not allowed to sit. I have to either lay down in the fetal position or like I'm sitting in a chair laying down or I have to walk, and I've got ice in my back, everything else. So I wanted to do a review today on something that I've been learning to do while I'm unable to really get up and get around, because right now I can't lift a bale of hay, I can't take the 5-gallon bucket and run hot water out, none of that. So I'm teaching myself how to knit, and I wanted to show a kit that I had bought from Walmart. It's the Boye or however you pronounce that. I taught myself to knit kit. I picked this up for about $10, and it comes with an instructional book, size 6 needles, size 8 needles. It also comes with the tip protectors, 2 tapestry needles, a cable needle, stitch holder, 10 stitch markers, a stitch counter, and this little handy dandy ruler thing with the different gauging stuff on it. Actually comes quite in handy because it also helps if you're trying to, I guess, gauge your work. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. In this book, it goes over all sorts of stuff on knitting. It tells you the different knitting needle sizes, the standard weights, and what I really like are all of these abbreviations that it gives you, the knitting abbreviations. Tells you what everything means, which is really handy when you're trying to follow a pattern. So that's really helpful. It also tells you all the different kinds of needles and markers and you name it. It gives you a description of them. And it gives you how to cast on and different ways of casting on. One thing I would like to point out in this book is that sometimes it is a little bit hard to tell by the pictures on what to do, because they use this same colored string all the way through. So it's kind of hard to differentiate your tail from your working yarn sometimes. But it does tell you pretty well how to do it. There are some tutorials on YouTube also if you're having some troubles. But it's a really handy little book, and it has some patterns in it. I actually made my daughter both a hat and a cowl out of it. And what I've learned in here, I was able to apply to a hat for myself. So it's actually really easy, really laid out nicely. But here's an example of having same color yarn, more complicated stitches is a little more difficult to kind of discern. But again, if you follow the instructions, it's fairly well laid out. Kind of shows you how the different things look with the different stitches. So it's really nice. Teaches you how to knit and how to cable stitch and everything else. I practiced with these. See, here's a cabling. But I practice with these, and I was actually felt pretty confident on making my daughter a hat. It even tells you how to make fringes and tassels and picking up stitches and following from charts. How to knit with multiple colors and weaving in colors. Also how to weave in your ends. And I think it had given a brief description on how to, yes, how to knit with circular needles and how to join yarn. And also how to work with double pointed needles. So I felt this was a pretty good learning book. Here's the different things you can make. Even a little coat for a dog. Isn't that cute? But for anybody who's interested in teaching yourself how to knit, as I said, there are a lot of tutorials here on YouTube that are just fantastic. But if you have absolutely nothing as far as knitting, no knitting needles or anything else, and you're wanting to learn, this is a great basic kit to pick up because you can practice with what they teach in there, and they give you 2 sets of needles and all of this. So if you want a starting point, I think this would be a good way to go. As I said, I was actually very impressed with it. Yeah, it gives you quite a bit of little stuff, quite a bit of stuff for $10, especially since it comes with 18 patterns or 18 projects, because some of these projects have like 2 patterns. Like that has a cowl and the arm warmers. So that's the cowl I made for my daughter, and then I had made her a hat from this project, and I used a variegated yarn, so it was matching for both of it. It was really cool. But there's some cute projects. I don't know what else to say about this, other than, yeah, good starting point. And I've found that it's keeping me from going out of my mind while I'm unable to do anything. I actually find it very relaxing to knit. So, again, that's the I Taught Myself to Knit series from Boye. Pretty neat little kit, huh? Alright. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye.